Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. We're at the Tisch WNET studio here in the heart of Lincoln Center. It is our pleasure to welcome for the first time here in our studio a gentleman that people have recognized for at least a couple of decades here, Bernie Kerik, who is the author of a book called From Jailer to Jail, the former New York City Police Commissioner. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
You've had a heck of a career, a life.
I've had a crazy life. 35 years in law enforcement. I started as an MP. I've been a cop, a correction officer, a federal drug agent, a warden. I ran Rikers for 6 years, and ultimately became the police commissioner. And unfortunately, was there during 9/11. So it's been ups and downs, but it's been a good career.
9/11 changed your life?
Yes.
How?
Most importantly, I think I realized that you just cannot take life for granted. You can be here today and gone tomorrow. And I think I came to realize that when, 3,000 people perished in a matter of minutes. And it was very personal to me. I lost 23 people that worked for me. I lost a number of friends that died in the towers, and I got to see the aftermath and the effect on this city, this country, the resilience of the city. But most importantly, I came to realize very quickly, you just don't know, and you should take every day. Don't ever take it for granted.
We were talking about before they got on the air. You're a guy who was born and raised. You grew up in Patterson?
I was born in Newark, raised in Patterson.
Yeah. Major reputation here in New York City, became a national figure. And the issues you ran into, we'll talk about in a second. But the reason I mention that is that, I grew up in a neighborhood that you know very well in Newark, and we know some of the same people. And
right.
Loyalty matters a lot, right?
It does.
So people come to connect you very closely to Rudy Giuliani.
Mm-hmm.
During that 9/11 period, he became, quote unquote, America's mayor. You're right there.
Right.
Soon thereafter, you become recognized as someone who can deal with very difficult situations. And your name gets put out there as someone, hey, wait a minute. Homeland Security is a huge issue. Why not Bernie Kerik? And you're thrust from handling Rikers, handling New York City's police department, everything you've dealt with, to this particular position. And I don't know whether you had any idea what you're going to go into or not, but let me just get to the point. You're thrust into a media situation, and your background is looked at in a way that I'm sure you may or may not have expected. But ultimately, issues are played out regarding there's a nanny in your family, that payroll taxes were not paid, and so there you're on the front page of all the papers. Long story short, some other issues come out, and you wind up dealing with legal and criminal problems, and you wind up on the other end in jail.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I lay that all out is, as I was reading the book, I'm asking myself, where's your friend Rudy Giuliani in all this?
Rudy and I were close not only as a result of 9/11. I had known him since 1992. I worked with him throughout his campaign until he was elected. I worked for him at Rikers. I ran Rikers. I had unparalleled successes, turning Rikers into an international model for efficiency and accountability. Took over the NYPD, worked for him there. Then we had a private company, a security company,
yeah,
consulting company. When I was nominated for Homeland Security, and then I declined and withdrew my name, we created distance between us.
By design?
Yeah, pretty much by design. I didn't want to be associated with him as much as he didn't want to be associated with me, because it attracted media attention. I mean, if you look back to those times, Every article about me, he was in it. Every article about him when he announced he was running for president, I was in it. So at that point, we basically created separation. The unfortunate thing, I think, was that after I pled guilty and I was...
Tell folks, you pled guilty. I'm sorry for interrupting, Bernie. You pled guilty to specifically?
I pled guilty to false statements and tax charges, primarily relating to my children's nanny and some apartment renovations I had done. And
and serving, the prison term was?
48 months, and I served the full time within the guidelines, 3 years and 11 days.
Okay.
And throughout that period, nobody knows better than a former U.S. attorney.
Which he was.
Which he had.
In the Southern District of New York.
Right. Nobody knows better what that does to the family. I had no income coming in at the time other than my pension. And I would have hoped that he was there for my wife and kids, and he just was not. And what bothered me, I think, more than anything, is he was the godfather of my two daughters,
exactly.
My 12 and my 15-year-old.
Did they not reach out for him and he would not respond?
Well, what happened is initially, we tried to reach out to him. We tried to contact him. In 2006, there was no contact. And my daughter sent him a Christmas gift, and it was sent back to my house. And, it's just unfortunate. Everything I'm saying, though, it does not take away from my respect and my admiration for what he did for the city.
What do you take away from that?
Politics does funny things to people.
Does politics trump friendship?
I think it does. Politics is one, it's a dirty business, extremely dirty business. And two, when there's times of scandal or times of hard times, a lot of politicians run. Not every politician. Peter King, who was
Congressman Peter King.
Congressman Peter King was the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee for the United States Congress. But that man came to a federal prison every 3 or 4 months for 3 years to see me. Sat in a visit room with other inmates and families and everything else. Never asked for any special privilege. He is what I consider one of the most loyal people I know.
Describe your time in prison.
If I had to sum it up in a sentence, prison is like dying with your eyes open. You basically wind up in a stagnant position where your entire life goes on without you in it, and there isn't anything you can do about it. Your kids grow. There are deaths in your family. There's births in your family. There's graduations. There's school events. Your whole life goes on without you in it, and there's nothing you can do. You can't help. You can't, there's nothing you can do. You just sit back and watch. It's like somebody put you in a coffin with your eyes open and you get to watch everything around you, your entire world go on without you in it.
Someone says, okay, I have people talk about, have a positive attitude. You did. First of all, you got in better shape. You did.
I lost about 80 pounds while I was away.
By working out and not eating what?
No, well,
first it just doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't happen. First of all, my diet was tuna fish and chicken for the last 2 years I was in. And, I went from somebody that would do 25 push-ups and be out of breath. I think the top I've done is I've done 1,200 in just over 2 hours. But that's what you do when you don't have nothing else to do. So, but I got in a lot better shape. Okay.
You come out. What were your prospects? Who was there for you?
There have been friends that was there before I went in, and they're still there today. Peter King, Geraldo Rivera. Dick Grasso. These are people that others would know. Dick Grasso was the former chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. A lot of my friends are still there, but a lot of people run. They stick their head in the sand. You know, they're afraid. You know, it's like you have this thing.
Do you understand it, Bernie? Do you understand people saying Bernie Kerik was the police commissioner? He headed up Rikers. He was nominated to head up Homeland Security. He got involved in a scandal. He pled guilty. He did the wrong thing. He did the time. Get away from him because it could be a problem. Do you understand from a PR and media point of view?
I sort of understand.
What do you think you would have done?
Prior to my circumstances, I may have done the same thing, but not to my closest friends.
Real friends.
Yeah, real friends. And today, I look at it completely different. And the reason I do that is because I know the case against me. And I know that if I took a stack of subpoenas and give me the scrutiny power that a United States attorney has, I can indict you and everybody in this building, and there isn't nothing you can do about it. Nothing.
What does that mean? But you admit it, you did something wrong.
That's right. What I did, I did. But there's nothing I did that couldn't have been handled civilly.
Not criminally.
Not criminally. There's a big difference. You know, people have no conception why other people are in prison today. You know, and I put a lot of people in prison.
Yeah,
lots,
you did.
For bad people that did bad things. And then I get to prison, and I see young men, 18, 19 years old, serving 10, 15 years for possession of 5 grams.
So what do you want to change?
The entire criminal justice system has to change.
Be specific.
The mandatory minimums and sentencing guidelines have got to be repealed or revamped or eliminated. At some point in time, a person pays its debt to society. You do your time, you do your probation. The reality is, your debt to society is never paid. You're a convicted felon till the day you die. If you get convicted at 19 and you live to be 120, the collateral consequence of that conviction stays with you forever, forever. And it has an impact on your voting rights, on your Second Amendment rights, on your, some people can't rent an apartment. Some people can't get a job. Most people can't get back into society. And what I've realized is we're creating an entire second-class society as a result of the convictions. And don't get me wrong, bad people that do bad things, they belong in prison. But at some point in time, when you take a first-time, non-violent, low-level offense and you turn that guy into a convicted felon, a commercial fisherman catches too many fish, we make him a convicted felon.
Well, why do we do that, Bernie? Why have we created these mandatory minimums? Why do we say, lock them up, throw away the key? Why do we do that? We feel better about ourselves when we do that.
You know, and I think that's a part of the problem. Society has evolved into a people that believes everything has to result in prison. But that's only until it's happened to them or somebody associated with them. If you experienced what I have through some personal discourse, I promise you, you think different.
Last question. How has this all changed you?
I think, you know, I have a different outlook on my children. They were important to me before. They're 10 times more important today. And I'm on a mission to bring a real education to the American public on what the criminal justice system is, where its flaws and failures are, and how it should be fixed.
You hate politics?
Just, politics is a dirty business. Dirty business.
One more quickie. Biggest lesson you learned about being a leader?
Go with your gut. Don't lead. Don't manage by polls. You know, there's a right and a wrong and a good and bad. Do what's right. Do what's good. Do it for the people. And if you look at my experience, my background, and what I've done, my entire career, up until the day I withdrew from consideration, I've had enormous success living by those standards.
Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, sir.
The name of the book is From Jailer to Jailed, My Journey from Correction and Police Commissioner to Inmate number 84 888-054, Bernard B. Kerik. Thank you, Bernie. Stay with us. We're right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by PNC Bank, Bergen Community College, United Water, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, and by Choose New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.